I watched her delete the message right in front of me. She didn't even flinch. Just smiled, locked her phone, and asked if I wanted tea like nothing had happened. Like I hadn't just seen her thumb swipe across the screen a little too fast. We've been married for 11 years. 2 kids. A house that still smells like fresh paint in some rooms because we never fully finished renovating. Normal life. Predictable life. Safe. At least, that's what I thought. I'm not the jealous type. Never have been. She has friends, coworkers, a whole life outside of me. I respected that. Trusted it, even. But something about that moment, it stuck. It wasn't just that she deleted a message. It was how automatic it looked. Practiced. Like she'd done it before. And maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it was nothing. But ever since that second, I can't stop replaying it in my head. Because people don't hide things unless there's something to hide. Before all this, we were good. Not perfect, but solid. We met in our 20s, back when everything felt simpler. She was loud, confident, the kind of person who made friends in 5 minutes. I was quieter, more reserved. Somehow it worked. We built everything together. First apartment, then the house. Late nights arguing over bills, laughing over stupid TV shows, falling asleep on the couch. She used to tell me everything. Work drama. Friends' secrets. Even small things, like who texted her, and what they said. It wasn't something I asked for, it was just how she was. Open. Or at least, I thought she was. Looking back, I can't pinpoint exactly when that changed. Maybe a year ago? Maybe longer? She started keeping her phone closer. Taking it with her everywhere, even the bathroom. Turning it face down on the table. Locking it faster when I walked by. At the time, I told myself it was normal. People change. Privacy isn't a crime. But now, it feels like the beginning of something I should have paid attention to. The first real red flag didn't even feel like one at the time. She started going out more. Work drinks, she'd say. Or, just a quick dinner with colleagues. Again, nothing unusual. She's always been social. I didn't question it. But the frequency changed. Once a week turned into 3. Then sometimes she wouldn't even mention it until she was already dressed, grabbing her keys. Is that okay? She'd ask, already halfway out the door. What was I supposed to say? No? I trusted her. And honestly, I didn't want to be that guy, the suspicious husband keeping tabs. But I started noticing little things. She'd come home late, smelling different. Not like alcohol or smoke, but like a different perfume. Not hers. When I asked, she'd laugh it off. Probably someone hugged me goodbye. And I believed her. Because the alternative didn't even cross my mind back then. Or maybe it did, and I just didn't want to admit it. Then came the passwords. We never really had secrets with our phones. Not in a controlling way, just casual openness. I knew her passcode, she knew mine. Until one day, hers didn't work anymore. I noticed when she asked me to check something for her while she was cooking. Can you just open my messages? I tried the code I'd used for years. Didn't work. She paused for a second, just a second, but I saw it. Oh, I changed it, she said quickly. Work security thing. I forgot to tell you. That should have been nothing. But something in my chest tightened. Okay, what is it now? She hesitated again. Then laughed. I'll just do it, it's easier. She took the phone from my hand. And that was it. Such a small moment. So easy to brush off. But it stayed with me. Because suddenly, there was a door where there had never been one before. And it was locked. The message deletion thing happened about 2 months later. That's when everything shifted from, maybe I'm overthinking, to, something's wrong. We were sitting on the couch. Kids already asleep. Just a quiet night. Her phone buzzed. She picked it up, glanced at the screen, and then, without missing a beat, deleted something. Right in front of me. No attempt to hide it. No explanation either. I tried to play it cool. Who was that? She shrugged. Spam. Some weird number. Spam doesn't usually make people smile first. And she did smile. Just briefly. I saw it. I didn't push. I don't know why. Fear, maybe? Fear that asking the question would lead to an answer I didn't want. But from that point on, I started noticing everything. Every notification. Every glance at her phone. Every time she turned it away from me. It was like a switch flipped in my brain. And I couldn't turn it off anymore. I hate who I became after that. I started checking. Not directly, at least not at first. Just little things. Looking at her screen reflection when she typed. Noticing names that popped up in notifications before she swiped them away. There was one name I saw more than once. Mark. No last name. Just Mark. I didn't recognize it. I told myself it was a coworker. It had to be. But why delete messages from a coworker? One night I asked casually, "Who's Mark?" She didn't even look up. "Oh, just someone from work." Too quick. Too smooth. "What does he do?" "Accounting," she said immediately. But here's the thing. I know most of her coworkers. She talks about them all the time. And I had never heard of Mark. Not once. That's when the doubt stopped being abstract. It became a person. A name. And suddenly it felt real. I tried to ignore it. For weeks. I told myself I was being paranoid, that I was going to ruin my own marriage with baseless suspicion. But the behavior didn't stop. If anything, it got worse. More deleted messages. More nights out. More distance between us. Physically, emotionally, everything. She stopped reaching for me in bed. Stopped telling me about her day. Even her laugh felt different. Forced sometimes, like she was performing. One night, I woke up around 2 a.m. and she wasn't in bed. I found her in the living room, sitting in the dark, phone glowing in her hands. She didn't hear me at first. She was smiling. Softly. Intimately. Not the kind of smile you give a coworker. When she noticed me, she jumped. "Jesus, you scared me. Who are you talking to?" "No one," she said quickly, locking the phone. "No one. At 2 a.m. Smiling like that. Yeah. Right." The turning point came by accident. Or maybe not. Maybe some part of me was looking for it. She left her phone in the kitchen while she went upstairs to shower. That never happens. Not anymore. It buzzed. Once. Then again. I stared at it like it was going to explode. I shouldn't have picked it up. I know that. But I did. The screen lit up. A message preview. From Mark. "I miss you already." My stomach dropped so hard I thought I might throw up. Before I could think, before I could stop myself, I opened the chat. Or at least, I tried. Face ID failed. Of course. I stood there, heart pounding, holding this piece of evidence I couldn't fully access. But I had seen enough. "I miss you already." People don't send that to coworkers. That's when the truth stopped being a possibility. And became a reality I couldn't unsee. I didn't confront her right away. I don't know why. Shock, maybe? Or fear that once I said it out loud, everything would collapse. So I waited. Watched. Pretended everything was normal while my head was screaming. That night, she came to bed like nothing had happened. Curled up next to me. Put her hand on my chest. And I just lay there, frozen. All I could think about was that message. "I miss you already." Who was she with before coming home? Was she thinking about him while lying next to me? I felt sick. But I still didn't say anything. Not yet. Because a part of me, a stupid, desperate part, hoped there was an explanation. Something innocent. Something that would make me feel crazy for doubting her. But deep down, I already knew. I just wasn't ready to hear her say it. The confrontation finally happened 3 days later. I couldn't hold it in anymore. We were in the kitchen again. Same place where everything shifted. "Who's Mark?" She froze. Just for a second. But it was enough. "I told you, he's from work. Don't lie to me." That's when her expression changed. Defensive. Sharp. "I'm not lying. I saw the message," I said. "I miss you already." "That's not work." Silence. Heavy. Crushing silence. She looked at me like she was calculating something. Like she was deciding which version of the truth to give me. "Okay," she finally said. "It's not what you think." Of course it wasn't. It never is. "So what is it?" Another pause. And then, "He's just someone I talk to." That was the moment I knew everything was about to fall apart. "Someone you talk to?" I repeated, trying to keep my voice steady, but it came out strained, almost unrecognizable. "Yeah," she said, arms crossed now, like she was bracing herself. "It's not a big deal." Not a big deal. I felt something inside me crack open, something I don't think I'll ever be able to put back together. "You tell him you miss him," I said slowly, each word feeling heavier than the last. "It's just words," she replied too quickly, like she'd rehearsed that line. "Do you sleep with him?" I didn't plan to ask that. I didn't want to ask that. But it came out anyway, like my body needed the truth even if my mind couldn't handle it. Her face changed. That hesitation, just a second, maybe less, but it was enough. Enough to confirm everything I was terrified of. "Answer me," I said louder now. She looked away, blinking fast, like she was trying not to cry. "Sometimes." Sometimes. That word echoed in my head like a gunshot. Casual. Dismissive. Like she was talking about grabbing coffee, not betraying her husband. "Sometimes?" I repeated, my voice rising. "What does that even mean? Once? Twice? 10 times?" She didn't answer. Just cried. And I lost it. I started yelling, things I don't even fully remember. Questions, accusations, fragments of disbelief. I remember asking how she could do this to us, to our kids, to everything we built. At some point, my voice just gave out. I sat down because my legs felt weak, like they weren't mine anymore. 11 years. Late nights. Vacations. Arguments that seemed important at the time. All of it suddenly felt small. Irrelevant. "How long?" I asked again, quieter this time, almost afraid of the answer. She hesitated. Then whispered, "Almost a year." A year. A whole year of lies. Of coming home to me after being with someone else. Of looking me in the eyes and pretending everything was normal. I felt like an idiot. No, worse than that. I felt erased. The worst part wasn't even the cheating itself. It was how she talked about it. Like it was something that just happened to her. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," she said, sitting across from me, wiping her face but still avoiding my eyes. "It just happened." I stared at her, trying to process how someone could reduce a year-long affair into something so passive. "You don't accidentally build a relationship with someone," I said. "You don't accidentally sleep with them over and over again." She shook her head, crying harder. "I didn't plan it. It started as talking, and then you just forgot you had a husband?" I cut in. "I didn't forget you," she said quickly. "I thought about you all the time." That somehow made it worse. "You thought about me while you were with him?" Silence. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said again, like repeating it would make it true. I actually laughed. A short, hollow sound that didn't feel like it came from me. "You didn't want to hurt me? You've been lying to me every single day for a year." Tears streamed down her face. I know. I just didn't know how to stop. That sentence stuck with me. Didn't know how to stop. Not didn't want to. Not couldn't. Just didn't know how. I still love you, she said suddenly, her voice breaking. I looked at her, really looked at her, trying to find the woman I married in that moment. And I love him too. That broke something deeper than anything else. Not just betrayal. Replacement. Division. I wasn't enough on my own anymore. You love him? I asked, even though I'd hurt her. She nodded slowly, like she was ashamed but still honest. And I realized then that this wasn't just a mistake. This wasn't something we could just work through. This was something that had already reshaped her. And I didn't know if there was any version of her left that belonged fully with me. The days after that felt unreal. Like I was living in someone else's life, watching everything from a distance but still feeling every bit of the pain. We tried to talk. Really talk. Set rules, boundaries, something, anything, to stop the bleeding. She said she'd end it. I'll block him, she told me. I'll delete everything. I'll do whatever it takes. And I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her so badly. But trust doesn't come back just because someone promises to fix things. It doesn't reset. It lingers, broken, in every small moment. Every time her phone buzzed, my chest tightened instantly. Every notification felt like a threat. Every time she left the house, even for something normal like groceries, I wondered if she was telling the truth. I started checking things. Asking more questions. Paying attention to details I never cared about before. What time will you be back? Who are you going with? Why didn't you answer your phone? I hated myself for it. I sounded paranoid. Controlling. Insecure. But I couldn't stop. Because I'd been wrong before. Completely wrong. And now my brain wouldn't let me trust anything without proof. This isn't healthy, she said one night after I asked too many questions in a row. I stared at her. No, I said quietly. You broke healthy. She flinched. I'm trying to fix it, she insisted. But even as she said it, something felt off. Like part of her wasn't fully there. Like she was going through the motions, saying the right things, but emotionally, still somewhere else. With him. And that's what destroyed me the most. Not just what she did, but the feeling that I was no longer her first choice. Maybe not even her second. Just the safe option. We're still living in the same house. Still sharing the same bed. Still eating dinner at the same table with our kids like nothing has changed. But everything has changed. It's like we're actors now, playing roles we used to live naturally. We laugh when we're supposed to. We talk about schedules, school, bills. But the real connection? It's gone. Or at least, it feels like it is. She says she ended things with him. Swears it. I blocked him everywhere, she told me. It's over. And maybe it is. But I don't know if I believe her. And even if I did, I don't know if it would fix anything. Because the damage isn't just the relationship she had with him. It's the lies. The secrecy. The way she looked me in the eyes for a year and chose him anyway. I don't look at her the same anymore. I catch myself studying her sometimes, like she's a stranger. Wondering who she really is. What else I don't know. And the worst part? I still love her. Or at least, I think I do. Maybe I love the version of her that existed before all of this. The one who didn't hide her phone. The one who didn't delete messages in front of me like it was nothing. The one who made me feel secure. Now I feel exposed. Like the ground under me isn't stable anymore. And I don't know if it ever will be again. I keep replaying everything in my head. Every moment that felt off. Every red flag I ignored. The changed password. The late nights. The way she smiled at her phone. The message I saw. I miss you already. It all feels so obvious now. Like I should have seen it. Like I should have known. But the truth is, I trusted her. Completely. And that trust made me blind. I don't know what happens next. Some days I think about leaving. Packing a bag, starting over, trying to rebuild myself somewhere far from all of this. Other days, I think about staying. For the kids. For the history. For the small part of me that still hopes we can fix something that's probably already broken beyond repair. But even if we stay together, I don't think things will ever be the same. I don't think I'll ever fully trust her again. And I hate that. Because living like this, constantly questioning, constantly doubting, it's exhausting. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Trust isn't just important. It's everything. And once it's gone, you don't just lose your partner. You lose your sense of reality. And I don't know how to get that back.